If someone had told me how my time at Queen's High would turn out, I wouldn't have believed them. I'm not even sure if I believe it myself. Looking back, it feels like a dream, a strange, vivid dream that changed my life forever. But let me start from the beginning, back when I first walked into the school. Queen's High was a place for the elites, the daughters of politicians, business moguls, and society's creme de la creme walked the halls. The kind of school where kids wore designer uniforms, carried expensive bags, and spoke about their families' vacations in Europe or Dubai like it was nothing. I didn't belong there, not even close. My parents couldn't afford the school fees. My dad was a mechanic who spent long days fixing other people's broken cars, and my mom sold vegetables at the market. Most days, we barely scraped by, but I was lucky, I was smart. My grades earned me a full scholarship to Queen's High. When the letter came, I thought it was a mistake. Me? Going to the same school as the daughters of senators. It felt surreal. Still, I was terrified. My first day at Queen's High was like stepping into another world. Everything was shiny and polished, from the massive gates to the sparkling floors inside the buildings. The girls all looked so confident, laughing in small groups as if they owned the place. Meanwhile, I stood there clutching my one bag, unsure of where to go. I knew I didn't belong, and I was determined to hide it. I spent what little money I had saved on a few outfits to make me look the part. My clothes weren't expensive, but I made sure they were neat, ironed, and stylish enough to fit in. I wanted everyone to believe I was just like them, wealthy, confident, untouchable. But the truth is, pretending to be something you are not can be exhausting. It didn't take long for my acts to catch up with me. There was this girl, Sarah. She was tall, loud, and mean. The kind of girl who made everyone's life miserable just because she could. Sarah was the queen bee of our year, and everyone either feared her or worshipped her. Unfortunately for me, I caught her attention on my second day. It happened in the bedroom. I was fixing my blouse in front of the mirror, trying to make sure I looked perfect. Then she walked in. Her eyes landed on me and a smirk spread across her face. Well, well, she said, looking closer. Who do we have here? I tried to ignore her, focusing on my reflection, but she wouldn't let me. She stepped right next to me, looking me up and down. Is that supposed to be a designer? She asked, tugging at my sleeve. It looks fake. It's not, I lied, pulling away from her. She laughed, loud and mocking. You think you can fool us? We can smell cheap from a mile away. The other girls in the bathroom laughed with her, and I felt my face burn with humiliation. From that day on, Sarah made it her mission to make my life a living hell. She would trip me in the hallways, knock my books out of my hands, and spread rumors about me. Sometimes she would corner me during lunch, demanding money or making me do her homework. I was too scared to stand up to her, and no one else dared to intervene. I felt so alone. Every night I cried myself to sleep, wondering if coming to Queen's High was a mistake. But then everything changed. It was a Friday afternoon. I was walking back to the dorms when Sarah and her group cornered me near the lockers. Hey, scholarship girl, she sneered. You got any money for us today? I shook my head, clutching my bag tightly. Don't lie to me, she said, yanking the bag from my shoulder. My book spilled out onto the floor, and I felt tears welling up in my eyes. Pick them up, she ordered, her voice dripping with mockery. I bent down, my hands trembling as I gathered my things. Just as I thought the humiliation couldn't get any worse, a voice rang out. What's going on here? I looked up and saw Amanda, the head girl, standing a feet away. She was tall, elegant, and confident, with an air of authority that made everyone listen. Sarah froze, her smirk fading. Nothing, she said quickly. Amanda wasn't convinced. She walked over, her piercing gaze fixed on Sarah. Are you bullying her? Sarah stammered, trying to deny it, but Amanda wasn't fooled. Both of you come with me, she said, her tone leaving no room for argument. She marched us to the principal's office and Sarah was suspended for a week. I thought that would be the end of it, but Amanda wasn't done with me yet. That evening, she found me sitting alone in the dorm common room. She sat down beside me, her presence calm and reassuring. Are you okay? She asked softly. I nodded, though I didn't feel okay at all. You shouldn't let people treat you like that, she said. You deserve better. Her words brought tears to my eyes. No one had ever stood up for me like that before. I think you need someone to look out for you, she continued. Someone to show you the ropes. How about I be your school mother? I didn't know what to say. Being someone's school daughter was a big deal. It meant protection, guidance, and a sort of bond. I nodded, grateful and relieved. Good, she said with a smile. Pack your things. You are moving into my room. Amanda's room was bigger and nicer than mine, with soft rugs and a bookshelf full of novels. Her roommate, Clara, barely looked at me as I unpacked, but Amanda helped me settle in. She asked about my family, my interests, and my struggles at school. She made me feel safe, like I finally had someone on my side. But as the days went on, things started to feel different. Amanda was always so touchy. She would brush my hair out of my face, hug me a little too tightly, hold my hand longer than necessary. At first, I thought she was just being affectionate, but it made me uncomfortable. One night, I was lying in bed when I heard noises, soft giggles and whispers. I turned over and saw Amanda and Clara on the bed together, their faces closed. I pretended to be asleep, but my curiosity burned inside me. The next day, I couldn't hold it any longer. What were you and Clara doing last night? I asked Amanda cautiously. She laughed, her cheeks turning slightly pink. Nothing, just talking. But I knew it wasn't just talking. Later that night, I asked Clara directly. She hesitated, then smirked. You want to know? Come, I'll show you. I didn't know what to expect as I followed her to Amanda's bed. The three of us sat there, the air thick with tension. Clara leaned in, her face so close to mine, and whispered, Relax. But before anything could happen, there was a loud thud. Clara had leaned too far back and fallen off the bed, landing awkwardly on her leg. She screamed in pain, and within seconds, the dawn lights flickered on as the principal stormed in. What is going on here? She demanded. Amanda and I quickly jumped back into our beds, pretending to be asleep. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought it would burst. The principal helped Clara up, glaring at us suspiciously before leaving the room. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling a mix of confusion, fear, and something else I couldn't quite place.